Let's begin with our demo. How the AI agent works is it'll take a type form, and from that type form, it will take all the information we answered inside, take it to a make.com automation, where that automation would then send all the data and answers to an API to Relevance AI, where we have an agent that would then call the lead, qualify the lead, send an email to the lead, book an appointment with the lead, and update a CRM. Let me just show you how everything works. For the purpose of this demo, we're going to be using this law form. Let's get started. So what is your name? Let's say Brandon. Email. We have a temporary email, right? So I'm planning to just use this temporary email. Please provide your phone number for us to contact you. What type of case? Let's say workplace injury. What is your current medical condition? Just got out for surgery and trying to be as creative as possible. Yeah. Just what type of injury you sustain up ankle mild concussion. This guy is South Africa, and let's submit this real quick. So now we're gonna come back here. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna take all the information, transfer it, and then send it as an API. And we should be getting a call right now. So let's just hear it. Hello, who's this? We're here again. John, to reach out to you. Okay. Have time. Yes, I do. Sorry. Okay. The work injury and more about the network employer. What happened was I got pushed down the stairs while I was carrying boxes by a coworker. Time. That's all to my knowledge. That's Attorney John. Shortly, will come. All right, thanks. All right, bye. All right, so as you heard, that's the agent. And now if we look here, we'll be able to see we're here. Now we're in Relevance AI. So this is Relevance AI where we have all our agents. Let me just load up the agent that we need right now. And now that we've had our call, we're now in the AI agent. And as we can see here, if you look at all the steps it had performed, we'll be able to see it called us, took all the information, and then recorded our call actually. And then from there, sent us an email, which we'll check now, and update our hotspot. And we will see everything here. Now let's check out that email. So if you go to our temporary emails inbox, as you can see here, we have gotten a new email. Hi, Brandon. I hope this finds you well. This is Attorney Johnson. I just reading the details of your case. Thank you for sharing. Based on a conversation period, it can help you receive the conversation required. I'd like to schedule a consultation, and then it gives you a kill.com link. We will be able to come up with better ways to get the client into that meeting. But personally, I personally like for my agency, especially, just send them a kill.com link. If they qualify, in this case, Attorney Johnson does qualify. If you're asking, how do I know if you qualified, you will see here that you qualified that during the call as well. And if you check our HubSpot, let me just update that real quick. There it is. Straightforward. There it is. If you update now, when we check my HubSpot, we'll be able to see that the client call that I just had is right here. Everything I needed to know from my email address, my name, phone number, the date, the case type, the medical condition, the summary. And then you'll be able to notice some information is here that wasn't in the type form, such as he was pushed downstairs by a co-worker. He's currently in the hospital, recovering from surgery and multiple injuries. So obviously we'll be able to customize each point, of course. So now question is, now that we've seen the demo, I know the question is, how do we make this? An AI agent is basically made up of several tools. We have 3 tools in this one agent: a voice call tool, a send email tool, and an update tool. Right. The first thing we need to figure out the core instructions. This basically makes up the brain of your AI agent, tells it who it is, what it's going to do. So right now, right, so we have, you are a world-class inbound lead agent for Johnson Law Firm, a personal injury law firm with exceptional skills in researching, qualifying prospects, and engaging them through communication channels. Your goal is to effectively manage new leads who fill out a form on our website for our services, things that best ensure thoroughness and accuracy. Now, it basically goes on to enforce, right? This is prompt engineering, a very crucial skill when working with AI agents. Trust me, the prompt can make or break your agent, right? If I put in the wrong prompt into my agent, it's not going to work as effectively, as effective. So you have accesses to following tools, obviously, add more tools at one point. Now let's look at how we made this voice call tool. This screen is basically the inputs. The information that you filled out on the form would come here, and that would be used to execute the tool, right? So now let's look at the build section. Now in the build section, we have the inputs, everything required for the tool to run. We have first name, case type. You saw this. And then we have the LLM. So an LLM, for those that don't know, it's basically things like ChatGPT, Claude. It's a large language model. We have another prompt telling it is a personalized line scripter for the first line. Keep in mind, the blueprint to this agent is in the description below, as well as for the make.com blueprint. And it's for free. You can get it. And then we have a make phone call. So here it's going to be phone number from the form. And then it's going to be using VAPI AI. If you don't know VAPI, it's a voice AI software. Basically, they work with inbound calling, outbound calling, call center. So here we are communicating with VAPI and using an API. So we're using their software within our agent, right? So we have another assistant prompt telling it what it will do, its goal, specifics with the client, kind of ask you an AI, say yes, and then tell it some context, give it a script to go by. so it's not completely lost. And then call details, so it understands the call, and then a transcript, guys, so that everything is summarized in order for you. Basically, going to make the HubSpot CRM updates with qualification status. Next, we have, let's go to first. So if you're asking if we have another input screen, does it like input it twice? Do I need to input it twice? The AI agent itself inputs the data from the previous tool into the, right? So it flows with it. So you don't have to input it twice. It's just there for formality. And then over here, we have our Google on screen. So basically what account is going to send emails. This is my work email. And then here we have an LLM. This is where if the qualification status is qualified and call status is successful, then you then be able to send and write an email, right? So now we're on the email tool. This is the email tool within the agent. So we have the Google on screen where we're able to choose what email address we want to be sending. Qualification status. This is the call from the previous tool had qualification status. This is where it comes in, be it dynamic input, right? And then we have another LLM here. So it writes the email. Obviously, we give it a little bit of a message template as well, and then a calendar.com link. And then send email, another LLM. This time it'll be if the call status was unsuccessful. So it's going to be sending them something like, we attempted to contact you, but unfortunately we won't be able to reach you. Basic courtesy. And it was still trying to get them actually. Johnson Law specializes in cases like yours, and we work on this basis. Appreciate the opportunity to discuss. And then, so they're still trying to get you that lead, even if they don't answer calls. There's no leaks. Now, here, after this is going to be email address from the dynamic prompt and then LLM answer. So the answer from this, where it got the script. And then it's basically the same thing. Rest where qualification status, yeah, it's going to send them nothing and then nothing. So let's look at the next tool, which is the update HubSpot tool. Now that we're here, right, in this update HubSpot tool, you're going to need to connect the accounts, and then we have everything we need here. This one is going to be a little tricky because now we're working in API calls, but it's not that difficult. Just the account we want to use, the method, which is post, because we're giving information. We are posting it to HubSpot, and then the path, which is where it's going to end up, and then the body, which is, if we look here, case type, you'll be received here. So the answer here is going to come here, and case type here would be in the right. So you're just going to make sure that what's in this area is in your HubSpot, and don't make the mistake of putting something in there that's not in the HubSpot. It's not going to work. You've got to make sure If it's here, it's there. So it works in tandem and correctly. And yeah, after that, once you have all that done, I'm fairly confident you'll be able to build your agent. Obviously, you're going to need to put in your API keys yourself. I'll make a video on it if you need help with that. Now, let's look at the make.com. So when we look at the make.com automation, right? It's a fairly simple automation. This is two modules, 2 steps, simple, easy, right? We come in here, Typeform, literally, it's going to connect to the same account your Typeform is using. And then get if you create it, you have to create one first, right? So if you created one, it's going to pop up here, and then you just need to put in all the fields. Here, obviously, it's going to recognize how many fields it has, and then you're just going to need to choose them among the rest, right? And then on this side, which is the API call, right? This is the request body, which is going to be the data that we're sending, right? So over here, this is going to be dynamic. So based on what the answer is, that's why it's blacked out. I put it dynamic so it works based on what is going forward. Authorization would be an API key. Now you might be asking me, how do I get this endpoint URL API key? The best thing I can, you come to your agent profile, right? And they want to come down here to API. And it will be over here. You just say generate API key, and then take this endpoint, copy it, put it into that URL place, generate the API key, copy it. And here's the request body. That's all you need. And like that, you would have had it. It literally only takes you like 5 minutes to set this up. And yeah, that's our agent. Like I said, please use the links in my description. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Just trying to help you out. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Have a good day.